so long is like alchemy.
All right, so after the big game against Dallas, Jerebko getting the start in place of Kevon Looney on the back end of this back-to-back against the Clippers. Now, are we going to serve them some revenge? Because I don't know about y'all, but I did not like that game down at Staples Center. Obviously, how it ended, the Draymond KD thing. You see Avery Bradley always in and out of the lineup, one of the more injury-prone players in the league. Now, if you go back to 2 years ago when Draymond was shooting the three, they always started the game off with him taking one, just to let the opponent know, like, he will shoot it and he possibly could make it. So another good sign. But, man, was there a shooting display from this Los Angeles Clippers team early in this game. Tobias Harris hits the three. KD catches and goes all the way in for the flush. Clippers' lack of rim protection was on display in this game. They no longer play Boban. Look at Steph go coast to coast while being ridden all the way to the basket from Bradley. Beverly and Bradley would take turns trying to stop the chef. KD continues to protect the rim better of late, but I've got some other bones to pick with him as far as his defense coast to coast, and Day missed a couple bunnies here. And he really was just trying to get his Moses Malone on. He wanted the rebound and the assist all on one play, but we didn't start off particularly well. Watch him slow down here a little bit. I think he can stand to do that in transition. Sometimes he goes 100 miles per hour and he doesn't have the touch to finish. He slowed down, took contact. Tobias Harris ran it right back down our throats, and he has the complete offensive game. Very impressed with him. Montrezl Harrell, I feel like when he makes it, you're like, but how? But how, right? It doesn't look sustainable. Looney comes into the game for Jerebko and right away gets the perfect lob. And it's interesting because I think both Looney and Jerebko are more comfortable coming off the bench. Extra pass here, and Clay finally gets a three. And where is it from? It's from the corner with his feet set. One thing that's very difficult, watch Tobias Harris step back there. That hop back is not an easy shot to make, and he's very adept at doing that. And I'm not talking about stepping back at an angle, but like stepping directly back, and then you see Gallinari has shades of Doncic in his game, right? He's not the distributor or ball handler, but they both can kind of get it done similarly in the paint. KD comes down on the ankle. Scary moment because he usually gets up right away. He stayed down for the whole next possession. I can't speak enough about his toughness because I pay close attention to these things. And that was, if you take a look, he rolls it back on the heel, because when you roll it on your toe, you can bounce back from that. Watch, it kind of rolls back on his heel, so that's always more dangerous. But he gets chipped up a lot and just keeps playing through. Then they show Steph getting checked out on the bench, so I'm like, oh man, this Clipper team, physical, fast, and chippy. I don't need this in my life. How about Pat Bev with the three? And yes, they shot the most efficient three-point shooting half in the history of the NBA. I think maybe in the entire game. Jerebko, the offensive glass, they reward him, gets it right back, and I love that he's showing that he can put it down and finish at the rim. He's a little craftier than you would expect, right? But he had an overall quiet game. Doc traditionally sends hard double teams, and KD was ready for that, finds McKinney on the backside. Now it's Sweet Lou Williams getting left and pulling up. I just don't understand why guys don't completely sit on the left hand. Easier said than done, I know. I thought this was a key play. Jerebko takes the charge and draws the third foul on Montrezl Harrell just to start the second quarter. We know he hurts us, right? Livingston continues to remain aggressive, but I thought that was a huge third foul on Harrell that kind of changed the energy and tempo for the Clippers. Jerebko, like I said, didn't have the numbers. Look at Steph on the offensive glass, and then things get a little chippy with the guy that gets chippy with everybody in Patrick Beverly. And here's the thing about Pat. He has a rotten tooth in the back of his mouth that he's kept there for years, so he can breathe hot fire Chicago back alley breath on whoever he's guarding. Nah, but honestly, I thought that was just what the doctor ordered. Look at the gravity. They're all aware of Steph. Jerebko gets a free one. And let's be honest, he gets up quicker than Looney. He does, right? And then here's another bunny that Draymond misses, and you can see him immediately grab the back. You see that? And you can tell he's not an elevator anyway, but he's not getting any elevation. And I completely blame those misses on the back. And anybody that has the lower back, you see Beverly try. The problem is Pat talks this shit to all the guards and these elite guards, and then he fires them up and he can't really back it up on the court. And like I said, I thought it helped Steph because Steph seemed a little disinterested of late, and talking that shit, tugging on Superman's cape was a mistake from Pat Beverly. Now, we can talk about the fluke hot shooting of the Clippers from three-point land, just like Utah the other night, right? Is it a fluke, or is it because we guard inside out? And I'm kind of tired of seeing it. We overhelp. Our defense collapses too much into the paint. In today's NBA, you have to prioritize guarding the three-point line. You see McKinney on the offensive glass, and I don't think we're doing a good enough job on it. It's not a coincidence that all these teams are putting on an absolute light show from the three-point line. I talked about Looney and his defense. He's regressed a little bit. This is not a switch. There's no way McKinney can switch that. And Looney, just stuck in mud, gives up the dive, cut, and the dunk. Here's Clay getting all the way left, and the numbers aren't going to say it. He was very inefficient, but he handled it differently. I liked the way he played in this game better. I thought he tried to do other things, and you can see his defense came along for the ride here. He was outstanding on that side, and he wasn't forcing the issue like we had seen the last few games. He just still isn't knocking shots down. Watch Looney continue to yield all the way to the basket for an and one. I don't know if he's afraid of getting in foul trouble or what's going on with Looney, but he needs to get more aggressive defensively. Draymond, another miss point blank at the front of the rim. And I hate to say it, taking away some steam from this Christmas Day game, but Draymond, they may have to shut him down. Watch him here, hits the floor after the steal. And like I had started to mention, anybody with lower back pain knows it's kind of chronic. And it's one of those things that it takes a while and you have to constantly treat it. You think you're all right and then you're not all right, much like the hamstring. And so if he's having lower back pain, it may be a better idea to shut him down. Look at him still fighting and battling through. He's such a gamer. He gets the block. The Clippers did a good job of not letting us get out in transition, and it was a free throw fest through most of this game. Gallinari's bigger than you think. Look at him standing next to KD. He's a legit 6'10", and then he's just a fearless shooter that doesn't mind a hand in his face. Tobias, KD is the biggest culprit of allowing three balls. He's so used to being able to recover with his length, he just slacks off and thinks he can recover, and it's too late from these quick trigger three guys. You see, speaking of quick triggers, Steph really kept us in it. Watch KD here again. Sucked in, late out, another open three, right? But Steph kept us in this first half of the hot shooting with hot shooting of his own after Beverly woke him up. Draymond slips and he gets an and one and finishes. And I think like I said, is slow down. Take the contact. Do not be afraid of free throws. So we went to the line a bunch here to close out the half, and somehow, some way, after all that crazy three-point shooting, we were only down like 4 points to start the second half. Look at Steph hit the brakes on Gortat and then get all the way to the cup. Gortat, I don't think he made a play in this game. He is their starting center. And then Durant getting to his spot, and it was the two MVPs that carried the offensive load and matched the shooting. Tobias Harris, just like Durant, he loves the rocker. He loves that rocker into the shot. He's not quite as long, but he's damn near as effective from outside. Danilo, how about 5 of 5 from three-point range? Just playing at his own speed. And he's another one of these guys where if he can stay healthy, he's such a nice player, right? KD taking a page from Steph's stop-and-go book, realizing Gortat is susceptible to biting on it. He gets all the way to the rim. And here's Clay, 4 of 15. But I thought the looks were less forced. I thought they were much better looks. He just still wasn't knocking them down. But you want to know who was? The back-to-back MVP had it going. Knocks the three ball down, and then look at this one. This one was the most difficult shot of the night to me. The angle and then the speed of it, that's just not a normal person shot there from Steph. And then you're going to see Clay's second make from the three-point line in this game. The two that he did make were both set in the corners. And I think his teammates also, you're going to see they're aware of it and they're looking for him, but don't overlook for him. This is another touchdown pass from Steph. The trajectory low, but on a rope, gets it to Clay. But they don't want to force him the ball when he's struggling. Just let him play basketball. KD all the way, and again, the lack of rim protection, especially with Harrell in foul trouble. I think Golden State adjusted well in the second half, and they're looking to make a play. That's where I was like, okay, Clay, just play basketball, baby. Just play basketball. Don't force things. It'll come, and that relieves the pressure. When you make plays elsewhere, it takes the pressure away from making shots when you're not making them. KD, rocker step, whatever you can do, I can do better. As he really got going here to end this third. And then McKinney, these offensive rebound putbacks are so demoralizing, right? They're almost worth more than the 2 points that they get you just because it's a demoralizing type basket. And McKinney's good for one a game. And then KD, the 4-point play. I love that he's shooting more threes, and it's paying off for us, man. Check the ankles. Check the ankles. He's good. And then look at him come over here weak side and protect the rim. And he's just fearless, man, because he's already rolled his ankle and he's still leaping in crowds and protecting the rim. Defense leads to offense, and finally a run gains us some separation going into the fourth quarter. Now, I love this. Watch this booster catch. See how he used his momentum on the catch to boost to the rim? He doesn't finish, but I loved that Draymond did that, and he needs to do that moving forward when he knows there's going to be 15 feet of open space for him. Now, there's an obvious moving screen. He was moving. And Foster tees him up, and he gets to talking, and it's a double-edged sword when Draymond gets fired up, because look at him dialed in. He always shoots better when he's fired up. He knocks down the three, but then he's so busy talking that shit and gloating about it, He falls asleep defensively, and Lou gets all the way to the cup. Oh, it's not an and one, but either way, he has to give up the foul. Take another look at it, man. So Kerr's got to get him out of here. He's talking that shit. He's been teed up. He hits the three. Oh, shit. Lou's getting to the cup. So Kerr gets him out. Meanwhile, Lou Williams, who is their closer, went on about like an 8-0 run here to bring the Clippers right back into this. And then this was a huge turning point in the game. Steph reaches in and catches Lou Williams in the eye. And the eye is serious business, man. The eye is a terrifying thing to injure because you just don't know. And what runs through your mind immediately is, am I blind? Can I see again? And this was a serious eye poke, obviously unintentional, but you're going to take a look at it here, how it puffs up. And I don't know the news on Lou, but I'm guessing he may miss some time if he's got a pretty bad scratched eyeball. So he shoots the free throws, but would not return to the game. So that left things up to the rookie, and Klay says, no, sir. Sit your butt down. Again, his defense was very on point, making up for the lack of offense. I think he understands that. And then here he is, that's just a shot he's been forcing. He just makes the extra pass. Sean makes another one, and Looney, nice 10-7 off the bench. Now, I talked about Looney and his kind of regression defensively of late. I think he's gotten better offensively, right? He's become more confident. We've seen a couple jumpers, but here he is defensively, and this is kind of a glimpse of why he always gaps guys. He's just not able to crowd guys out on the perimeter. Tobias, you know, to be fair, had it cooking, but this is the way to play him, right? He's hit like 6 threes, so he gets out on the three-point line, and that's just too easy. Back and forth we went, and out of a timeout, we execute. I've been whining and bitching about not executing out of timeouts. Finally, we get someone in their sweet spot and get the basket. And then Steph's like, I'm going to go ahead and get myself a 4-point play as well. Don't kid yourself. These two, it's a friendly competition, but they definitely try to outdo each other as far as scoring and getting buckets. Now, Montrezl Harrell's not who they want to be going to at this point in the game, but there's no Lou Williams. We dig down on defense. You can see the score. It's a 5-point game, 3 minutes left. Watch KD kind of like take a breath and reset himself here. All right, let's go. I had been talking about this in the comments a bit, that when KD operates above the three-point line, it just allows for so much more space and for him to just let him shoot over the top without the worry of a double coming. So he hits the big three. Gallinari, you know what he's going to do. This game, statistically, it really was an amazing anomaly as far as the outcome and what the Clippers did shooting-wise. Now, Draymond, he just was a little impatient getting that to Steph. He didn't let Steph turn around and set his feet. So we missed that possession. 7-point game. Harris, I loved what Klay did here. Run him off the three-point line. You give up the two with that time and situational awareness. So that's fine. Harris gets the layup. And then this was just a terrible possession. I'm just not sure what happened here. Indecisiveness. Steph just pumped that shot. But I think Steph wanted to kill clock, but then we just killed too much clock, and we ended up with the last guy we wanted shooting the ball, and the Clippers have another shot at it. And once again, we talk about situational awareness. Steph goes for the steal and sells out, and then you're going to see KD help on Montrezl Harrell. Yeah, it's a mismatch, but you always give up the two here with less than a minute to go. He leaves the wide open corner three ball, and all of a sudden it's a one-possession game, and we get a decent look. But watch Durant glance at Steph before he shoots the ball. That's what broke his rhythm. You see how he glanced over there before he shot it? It's just these little details that break a rhythm shooter. Clippers out in transition. And Avery Bradley with the bounce. Tie game.
Down to 7. So Draymond went to set the screen down to 3.
Look how far they pushed him out.
Curry down the lane for the lead. He got it.
And it's the chef finishing with a Jackie Robinson 42. None bigger than that last one to put away the Clippers. And what was a crazy game. They had 0.5 seconds, but he milked that clock perfectly. Good job not leaving your feet. And somehow, some way, after the most efficient three-point shooting night in the history of the NBA, the Dubs protect home court on the back of Steph Curry and Kevin Durant. Y'all know what's coming next. It's this Christmas Day game that we've all had circled on the calendar since we knew it was happening. Merry Christmas, y'all.
I've been winning so long, it's like